Good evening. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary fantasy basketball talk for Monday, January 31st. It's the last day of the month, moving into February. We're coming into the NBA trade deadline and the meat and potatoes of the basketball season. So I'm going to get to my 8 Spikes and Yikes for fantasy basketball today. But first, I want you to just check out this view. I mean, I know you kind of can't see it too well because the light is reflecting off the window. But man, you can see the river here, St. John's River here in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I am. And that sunset is spectacular. Yeah, it definitely got me a good spot here. Found a good deal. And they even let me check in really early this morning because I got off the Greyhound at like 9 a.m. And I didn't have anything to do till, and I was like, I know check-ins at 4, but is there any chance I could check in early? And they were like, yeah, oh yeah, for an extra $50. Yeah, it was worth it. It was nice to get in here and get some sleep because I haven't been getting a whole lot of sleep on this trip. That was a long night getting down from Fort Myers to Jacksonville. But I'm glad I did that overnight instead of wasting a day traveling up here. And it also, made it to where I didn't have to pay for another night to stay somewhere. But yeah, I really had an awesome time in Naples with my friend EJ. He showed me around, showed me his town, showed me the area. I met some really cool people. Met some girls. Naples is a really pretty place. Learned how to play pickleball. Made a new friend named Nick. I mean, it was just overall just a really cool couple of days. I wish I would have just spent more time there than coming up here to Jacksonville because really, for as big of a city as Jacksonville is, it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Not a lot going on here. But man, is it pretty. Look out this window. Not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I want to get up to Savannah and check out Savannah, but I don't want to spend all damn day there. But it doesn't look like I really have a choice. If I want to go, it has to be tomorrow. Yeah, hindsight, I'm not sure why I came to Jacksonville. Honestly, I should have stayed in South Florida. Spent more time in Naples with my friends, played more pickleball. Just had an excellent time. I didn't want to leave. I mean, I could probably move there and be fine. Since I met some people, which is hard for me to do. I don't meet people very well. EJ helped me with that. EJ is an inspirational guy to me, even though he's younger than me. He's kind of a role model to me. He's a guy who just, he used to be depressed. His life used to be bigger. He put in a lot of work to fix his mindset, to fix his body, and now he's living his best life, living a blessed life. And he gets girls all the time. He gets wherever he wants. He gets girls everywhere he goes. He just talks to people, just makes friends, just ups and moves when he's not happy somewhere. He's really focused on being physically fit, all that stuff, like all the stuff that I kind of wished I would be. So he's an inspiration to me. But he's a little depressing to hang out with because he's so high energy, he's so positive. It's like, why can't I do that? And then it's just so easy for him to get girls, and it's like, why is it so hard for me? I mean, I know I'm not obviously as good looking as him, or am I gonna like portray confidence that he portrays? I know that makes a huge difference, but like, I still like, there's something wrong with the way I look, obviously, because I don't even get bites on these dating apps. Like, I know everyone likes to say, change your personality, blah blah blah. Women cannot read personality through a photograph on a dating app. So, there's something wrong with the way I look, and I would like to know what it is that it makes me so physically unappealing. But anyways, I'm gonna try to make the best of this time here in Jacksonville. I'm, I'm honestly bummed. I should have done this if I was going to come to Jacksonville and abandon that stuff. I should have done that first, like Saturday, Sunday, and then I should have went down to Naples and spent the rest of my time with him. Especially given the weather. The weather was unseasonably cold in South Florida this weekend. It was one of the coldest weekends in Florida history. So that was yeah, it was hard. It was hard to find people. People didn't want to go outside. It was like 50 degrees, and they were acting like they were freezing. It was ridiculous, yet understandable at the same time. Because if you live in Florida, you lived here your whole life. You're kind of spoiled by nice weather, but yeah, I just Naples might be a good place for me, but it's also kind of a snobby town and a Republican town. That's something I'm trying to get away from. Spent my whole life in a conservative Republican shithole. I don't want to go back to that. And the humidity. I don't know if I want to deal with humidity, but man, it was nice to go somewhere and like just know somebody and meet cool people, because that's not usually what I do when I'm out traveling. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely make it a more regular thing to come down here to Florida and spend some time with EJ. We're already planning a Miami trip next time I come. So I gotta figure out when I want to do that. So that'll actually save me some money. I won't have to fly in and out of Miami. I'll have a place to stay. EJ's got a really nice little condo on a country club, and yeah, it's only 2 hours from his house. He said he'd drive us there and back. So uh, that's my plan. I'll save me some money and give me more time, quality time with my friend, and more quality time with his friends and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, all right, let's get to the fantasy basketball stuff. 8 yikes and spikes. My God, starting with Joe Ingles. He's officially been ruled out for the season with the torn ACL now. That was a very gruesome injury. I saw it live, and he's definitely gonna be out for the beginning of next year as well, probably. And it's really rough for him because he's old. He's an older guy. He's my age. That's old in professional basketball, and he was having a bit of a down year anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can come back and be the player that he used to be, or if he can come back and be even still a useful NBA player at all. Isaiah Stewart. A lot of people were predicting that he was going to have a down year this year. I was not one of them. I thought that he had a really surprisingly terrific rookie year. I thought he was going to build on that. I thought Detroit was going to give him more opportunities to succeed, but really it seems like they've already moved on from this kid after 1 year. So I don't know what the deal is there. And I'm not necessarily rooting for him to succeed anyway. He came from the University of Washington and F them. However, he was someone that I was high on in dynasty basketball. Turns out maybe I shouldn't have been. Dante DiVincenzo of the Bucks. He's fully healthy again now, and he's been struggling, riding the struggle bus since he came back. He's kind of lost his role with Grayson Allen in town now, and Wesley Matthews, the emergence of Wesley Matthews. So it's likely that Dante DiVincenzo is going to get traded, but it's sad at the same time because he's still young. He's still a very useful guard. He was a very useful fantasy player last year for Milwaukee, and it's just crazy how quickly things have changed in Milwaukee. Even though they're still a good team, still contending for a championship, Dante DiVincenzo has been completely phased out. I don't really think anybody was expecting Grayson Allen to be this good. I think everybody kind of thought when DiVincenzo came back, he would usurp Grayson Allen from his role, but that hasn't happened. Excuse me, I've still got a little bit of a cough. I got some cough drops that don't really seem to be helping. But yeah, hopefully he can get moved to a team where he can be more productive and useful. And lastly, the things I'm yiking, Jimmy Butler is missing too much time this year. He's a really good player. He's playing outstanding when he is on the court, but he's missed like half the season. with just random ailments or whatever is going on. It's like the Heat don't want to give anything away. They don't want to play with a full roster yet. Um, they want to surprise us all come playoff time, which the East could honestly be interesting with Miami, with Brooklyn, with Milwaukee. And, some people think Cleveland and Chicago are contenders too. I do not. But one of those teams will probably get to the second round. And then, of course, there's Philly. If they could figure out the Ben Simmons situation, they could easily be a threat in the East again. Now, moving on to the Spikes. Let's start with Otto Porter. Otto Porter is finally healthy again. He's in Golden State currently. I think he has a 1-year deal. It was a 1-year prove-it deal. He's playing really well. He's going to get... Damn. I was doing fine all day because I was out doing stuff. Now that I'm sitting, the cough is going to return. It's like a dry cough, too. It's not one of those phlegmy coughs that I usually get. It's a very dry cough. Otto Porter going to get paid this offseason. Probably not by Golden State. But it's good to see Otto Porter turning it around, switching that narrative. He was a very injury-prone, a guy who was on the verge of falling out of the league because he couldn't stay healthy, and has now emerged as a very useful young young role player in fantasy and in the future. So hopefully he can go to the right situation this offseason and reemerge as the player that we all kind of thought he was when he came into the league as a top 5 pick a few years ago. Ayo Dosunmu, we all kind of thought he was a second round steal. A lot of people had him picked for the lottery, or at least top 20 in the draft. Somehow he fell to the middle of the second round where the Bulls snatched him up. He didn't have a role early on because the Bulls went out and stocked up on guards this offseason, but now there's been some injuries, a massive wave of injuries in the Chicago backcourt that has given Ayo an opportunity to play, and of course he's proven that he can play. Second round steal. There's been a lot of good rookies coming out of the second round this year with Ayo, with B.J. Boston, and Herbert Jones, just to name 3. I'm sure there's more, but those 3 are the most obvious ones. It just makes you wonder, with all these draft evaluations they do, how they're still completely wrong on these guys all the time. But Ayo, good for Ayo. He's A-OK in my book. And I think he's got a bright future in this league. We'll see how long he stays in Chicago, because they could definitely, if they really want to be a true contender, they're most likely going to have to move him to get some more established pieces. Jordan Poole. The reports of Jordan Poole's demise were greatly exaggerated with the return of Klay Thompson. Jordan Poole still finding a way to be very useful in all fantasy formats, despite Klay Thompson usurping him for the starting shooting guard role in Golden State. Jordan Poole was a lot of people's prediction to have a breakout year this year, and he's living up to that hype. It's going to be interesting to see if he can continue this as Klay Thompson gets healthier, as Steph Curry gets out of his slump, as the Warriors continue to get healthier, as Moses Moody and all them guys kind of get more established and eventually get more minutes. So there's still some things to monitor and to watch with Jordan Poole, but at this point, he's absolutely still 100% a notable asset at the guard position in fantasy. And lastly, I want to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. real quick, because of the big knock on him for the entirety of his career has been his lack of rebounds. And he's doing a really good job of getting rebounds now, of hitting the boards. He could truly be a center in the NBA now with that physicality, and he has gotten 14 blocks combined over the last 3 games. That's outstanding. That's better than Rudy Gobert does on a regular basis. Even I know Gobert is currently out, but yeah, that's a lot of blocks. A lot of blocks for a guy who's not known for his defense. So Jaren Jackson Jr. Staying healthy, that's a big key for him. But he's looking like a future star alongside John Morant. The Grizzlies could be scary in the Western Conference here. Probably not this year. But if these guys continue to get better like they are, and they're so young, the Grizzlies are going to be a problem probably as early as next year in the West. Although I think excuse me, Dylan Brooks fits really well with what Memphis does, so they're probably not going to trade him, but I want Dylan Brooks in Portland. He's one of my favorite players, and I really think he'd be an essential wing for us. We need to find a way. I have no idea how it would work, but we need to find a way to get Covington to Memphis and Dylan Brooks to Portland. I think Covington could be more useful to a team like Memphis, even though he's a little older than he is to us. And Covington can still be a useful piece for somebody. Just obviously not Portland. He's played pathetically in Portland. And the fact that we're not doing so well suggests that he's going to be one of the first ones traded when the time comes to rebuild, which could be soon. All right, I don't have much else to say. I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot more exploring in Jacksonville tonight because it's dark, and I'm really tired. I'm probably going to hit the hay early, figure out if I'm going to go to Savannah. I need to figure that out tonight before I go to sleep, if I'm going to go up there tomorrow, because I'd have to catch the bus at 9 a.m. to get up there by noon, and then I'd come back around midnight tomorrow. So literally all damn day. I only wanted to be gone like 5 or 6 hours. I feel like 5 or 6 hours is enough time to do what I want to do up there. I don't want to be up there for 9 hours. I think it'd be like 8 or 9 by the time I have to catch the bus to come back down here. I came to Jacksonville because I wanted to kind of check out Jacksonville, and I wanted to spend all day checking out a different city when I only really got a day here. I know I'll have Wednesday morning. I don't fly out till Wednesday evening, East Coast time. So I'll still have Wednesday morning to kind of explore, check out Jacksonville. But really, for being as big a city as it is, I kind of saw all of downtown today. I saw what I needed to see, what I wanted to see. I don't have a whole lot of money on my Lyft account right now, so I can't really go, exploring outside of walking range here. I don't know. I got some things to figure out. I don't want to sell Jacksonville short. I want to do some more exploring here, but I did plan this trip with the idea of going up to Savannah in mind. So I just, for some reason, thought Savannah was closer to Jacksonville than it actually is. And I was also hoping that I was going to be able to rent a car and just drive myself up there, but that did not happen. So, which was fine. It kind of made it nicer for my time with EJ and my time in Naples, but I would definitely like to have a car here in Jacksonville. But also, last thing I want to say about Jacksonville is it reminds me a lot of Portland, actually, with all the rivers, or the river, the bridges across the river. The structural makeup of Jacksonville. It reminds me an awful lot of downtown Portland as well. So, and they are roughly kind of the same size towns. I think Jacksonville's a little bigger. But yeah, I mean they're both like two of the larger cities in America, but for some reason they're small media markets. I don't understand that, but there's a lot of comparisons to be made on the way this city looks, Jacksonville and Portland. All right, we're pushing 20 minutes. I'm gonna mercifully end this. Peace, love, and nacho fries. Hang loose. Good luck. See you next time.